Yeah, of course. Thank you. Just happy we got the win. Started off a little rough. I think Texas State had, they had some new wrinkles in their scheme that we haven't seen all year long, and so we were able to adjust. That first drive though went kind of quick, and wish we could have got that one back, but. We kind of have our defense set up that if we get that type of look that we're ready for it, but we didn't know it was going to be. Usually it's one or two plays. This one they kind of went on it for most of the night. Did it a lot where they sent the tackles out, did a lot of wide splits, different things like that we haven't seen. So a lot of credit to Texas State for being innovative and creative and finding ways to get the ball down the field and get a score early. Glad our guys settled down. Our offense was able to keep playing and stay on top of it and get some points on the board and give us some time to make some adjustments to the scheme. And love the way our guys respond all night. And looking forward to fixing some of the things that we can improve on from this week and play better next week against Western Kentucky. So, any questions you guys have, I'll be happy to answer it.
Okay, we'll start with questions from Jared, Lloyd, Jay Drew, and John Koo.
Kalani, it was a tie game, and you faced a fourth and 3 decision from the 30-yard line within Oldroyd's range, and you elected to go for it. Ended up getting I think it was the 33, and ended up getting that touchdown to Keanu Hill. How big of a play was that decision to go for it on fourth down? We know you like to do that, but how nice was it to see it work out like that?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of faith in our players, and it's early in the game where we feel like there's still a lot of time, and there's an opportunity for us to, when you look at it and you try to plan everything, you try to have everything organized. I think you go with your instincts and you go with what you're seeing on the field, and you kind of go with your players on the field and you trust them. And so, trust Coach Grimes and A-Rod and the offensive coaches, and I trust the players that are executing. And I think if we execute well, and we're a really tough team to stop. So it's probably why you saw us go for that, and why you saw us do a little, be a little aggressive on the fourth downs.
Kalani, you saw a lot of football in your life. Have you ever seen a throw like the one that Zach made across the field to Dax Milne for the touchdown? I think if I got it right, it was right in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, really strong arm, and we've seen him do that over and over and over again. It's nothing new how strong his arm is, and I'm just glad that he was able to make that throw. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks try to make that throw and end up throwing it short, and it's nice. It was a pinpoint throw. I had to look at it on film again, but I was happy with a lot of the things that we did offensively with Zach and some of the decision making that he made. There's a few passes that I know he wishes he had back, but he was able to capitalize, make some nice throws, and we were able to get some looks at other guys on the field and give them some valuable reps that I think will pay off a lot in the future. So just happy we got the win. I still keep thinking about things that we want to improve on. That's my mindset, is just thinking about things that we can get better.
Then I wanted to ask you about the punt that Ryan Rico kept. Was that all on his own?
Yeah, I think he when you're looking at, we haven't shown rugby punt much, and then that was our rugby punt. I mean, we haven't punted a lot, and so when Rico, who's got a great leg, we were able to, a few times tonight punt the ball. We have that rugby, and if it's there, then he takes it. I mean, personally, I wish he would have kicked it. That's just me, but he did exactly what we coached and why we had that scheme. But I talked to Coach Spav afterwards and apologized for it wasn't anything disrespectful or with any kind of intent to run up the score or anything. It was just something that he's just used to seeing in practice. I mean, we did that to our scout team a few times. When he sees it, we trust Rico. He's a great athlete. In that situation, though, I don't know if it was. That's on me. I should have been more wise in telling him to just go ahead and punt the ball. But he has a highlight now that Johnny Linehan will be really jealous of. So, but he shows his athleticism and his speed, and He was really happy. It was just one of those things that's not anything that we try to do on purpose, try to showboat or try to get one up. And so I apologize to Texas State for that, but we'll just learn, and next time I'll be better as a coach and make sure to teach them to just punt the ball next time.
Kalani, your first 2 drives went for 86 yards and 90 yards. Having those long scoring drives there in the first quarter, how much did that help in terms of allowing your defense time to adjust? Because in the second quarter, you only allowed 13 total yards.
Yeah, it was really valuable for us to have that time. We needed to make adjustments, our scheme, and Elisa Tuyaki did an amazing job organizing it from the box, and Preston Hadley and Janelle Guilford and Ed Lamb, with them along with our GAs and analysts did a great job at trying to establish what we were going to do, because it's just something that we weren't expecting, that type of offense, and I think that and I didn't know that they're going to do it so much. We kind of thought that every week we plan on seeing some things that we make stuff up just in case. And this is one of those moments where it's like, not only did they do it, but they did it a lot. And so we had to get things organized, and we needed that time. If it would have been a quick 3 and out, I don't know if we would have been able to get it communicated and drawn up on the cards and drawn up on the board, so our guys can see what we're actually trying to do. And we actually went into it with a different scheme to that we practiced. If we did ever see it, we do that every week. But we had to go on the fly and change it up, and E saw something that he thought would be better, he and Ed, and then they discussed it with Preston and Guilford, and I like what they did. I mean, that's the proof is what we did the rest of the time. Now I'm still upset about that 98-yard drive. We got to stop downing the ball on the 2-yard line then, because we're 0 for 2 now, stopping teams going on that long drive. But there's a lot of things that our guys have learned from in that drive, but and then obviously those guys came back and forced a turnover and played strong, and I'm just really proud that those guys were able to bounce back from after that and giving up that touchdown.
Hey, Coach, we'll take a question from Brandon Gurney, Jake Patch, and Mitch Harper. Oh, you don't need one, Brandon?
Yeah, go to the next guy. My question was answered.
Okay, we'll go with Jacob, Mitch Harper, and then Hunter Miller.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask you, in terms of, you said those reps in the second half, those second stringers, third stringers in the game, very important. What can be taught from those reps going off of that type of a performance?
Well, you look at the way they respond in the game, and everything works when you practice it, and you're going against a scout team. But so the fact that we saw real speed, they stuck with their ones during that time, and it's just to see if our guys can overcome basically the live reps, the fog of war, that mindset of like being on the field. I think it's easy to say that guys will do it and perform on the field, but it's a different deal when the lights are on and you're in front of people and it's moving a lot faster. So it was good that we were able to get those looks, and then it was really good that we were able to get the leaders on our team to get out there and support those guys on the field. And I saw great leadership on our sidelines. I saw, guys just really being out in front and cheering for their boys. And we saw some mistakes, but I love the way the guys responded back and came back and were able to get a stop off of that fumble, off of the snap, and then deep in the red zone, and then gave up a drive, but then came back and forced a turnover, got a pick, and ended the game. So I really pleased with the guys, and it's worth the yards and that we gave up to get our guys those reps.
Kalani, 14 different receivers had receptions tonight without Gunnar Romney. Was that kind of maybe designed to divvy up the pass attempts to the receivers without Gunnar in the game?
Yeah, I think that's just how it kind of worked out. I thought, looking at Zach and even Baylor, the way they spread the ball out, we were able to get some guys in the game, and obviously we got some good looks at some younger guys, but we just kept our offense rolling a little bit, and I'm just happy that those guys a lot of them got their first really live reps and with the ball in their hands. So it was good stuff. It was good to see Sione Finau back on the field again, and and keep getting Miles Davis some opportunities to run the ball and get some of those young O-linemen on the field too. So it was really good, valuable stuff for us, and get Baylor some opportunities to throw the ball, even though there was a – did he throw a pick on any? Yeah, so obviously some things to work on, but it's just good. It's just good where you're just not – you're able to throw the ball a little bit and just play regular football with those guys against a fast look, stuff that you can't get in practice.
You mentioned Sione, also Hank Tuipulotu made his debut.
Yeah, that's right.
Moving forward, factor into what you guys do offensively?
Yeah, and it's just good to see Hank. He battled back from some injuries, and same with Sione, and those guys are able to get on the field. And Keanu Saliapanga, good to get Tristan back on the field too, and just nice to have our guys and be a little bit stronger with our numbers. So, we just get those guys rolling and get some competition going, and make sure that our team's rolling deep and that we know we have guys that we can count on with a lot of experience.
Coach, I'm curious what kind of the thought process is behind pulling the starters and bringing in the backups. Is that something that, you guys go into a game thinking if you reach a certain point threshold that you'll pull the starters, or how do you go about making that decision of when to pull the starters and bring in some of the younger guys?
I mean, it's kind of a balance between what's best. If you're looking at the first part of the season, we really didn't have our starters play an entire game. And so, I think UTSA, they played the entire game, and then obviously the Houston game they did. So that was kind of brand new for us, and so we had those 2 games to let those guys play the entire game. And then now it's just I really feel like it's really valuable for us. And when you're dealing with COVID, and you never know if a guy's going to be pulled out of the lineup or not, I really believe that for us right now this year, let's get those guys as valuable reps as possible. And all I care about is when we're winning the game, we feel like we have it under control, is giving them those valuable reps as much as possible. And if it costs us some yards and even some points, I think it's really worth it. It's the investment is worth it for our guys. And we were able to do that in the past. We've been able to do that in the past and get more guys reps, and it's paying off. And when guys, they're not getting on the field when it's like they know the game's under control, but now they're getting valuable reps and getting that experience that means a lot. I mean, that stuff is I said it before, you can't simulate it, so we're going to take advantage of it as much as possible. I really don't care about how all the stats line up. I don't care about where we line up with, awards and all the accolades and all that stuff. The win is all that matters, and keeping our team as deep as possible.
Okay, we'll take 2 quick questions from Sean Walker and Jared Lloyd, and that'll be it.
Yeah, Coach, you probably had to figure that somebody was going to ask this question, but what'd you think of the crowd and finally having fans back and the band, the cheerleaders, all that kind of pomp and circumstance?
It was awesome. It was so good to see our fans. I mean, it was good to see our fans last week at Houston, but good to see our fans here. They made a lot of noise. The number that I'm pretty sure we used all 6,000 tickets. So all that 6,000 that came, they made a lot of noise. I'm really happy that they were able to enjoy the game, and this his first. We've had a lot of games without fans, so that was a lot of fun. And just really thankful that they were able to be here and so late and stayed after and cheered our guys on even when the game was easily in control. So thank you to all the fans, and looking forward to seeing all our fans get here and fill this place up as soon as we get things right. So appreciate all the fans. It means a lot to us.
Kalani, you hadn't been able to force a lot of turnovers this year, but Isaiah gets his hands on the ball and then takes it to the house, and that's got to be fun to see a guy like Isaiah be able to have that type of a moment.
He willed that to happen. He's been waiting for that for a long time, and I knew once he caught the ball, it was going to be gone. And you talk about a great student of the game. He's so smart. I wish I could take his brain and put it in all of our players. This football IQ is amazing, and his instincts are amazing, and the things that he does as a player, I've been so impressed with, and such an honor for me to coach him. I mean, we have a great relationship. Our coaches and our players have great relationships with each other, and be able to collaborate with him and talk with him. He's got a great mind, and just love that his will was able to. He kind of knew it was going to happen. He kind of been talking about it all week, and so when that happened, it was watch out. you got to see some of this athleticism that he had back in the day in Brighton when he used to run the ball a little bit. So we try to create more. I mean, obviously, I don't think we had not a lot of opportunities to get sacks. McBride ran around all over the place, and he's got tons of speed, but he scrambled around, and then other than that, they were getting rid of the ball really quick. And when they did their Daffy Duck stuff, it just caught us in a bad spot where we really couldn't get a lot of pressure on it. We had to be mindful of the RPOs and the quick throws downfield. So it's unique. We'll just keep playing, and hopefully we'll capitalize on other opportunities to get turnovers and to get more disruption and more sacks. But really pleased with the amount of disruption that we had this game, and turnovers and big stops and things like that. So we'll just keep improving, and hopefully Isaiah can spread the love with his pick sixes and I'm sure he'll do as many as he can, but I'm sure he'd love to share the mojo with the rest of the group.